Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Keegan and welcome back to another episode of the Supercoach Diaries, and we're heading into round 9. Before we get underway, make sure you do like this video, make sure you do subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the Supercoach videos I do have going on. Without any further ado, let's show you how I went this past week, and it was pretty much more of the same. So here is what my team did last week. It was pretty much business as usual as far as... It was pretty underwhelming, to be honest. So 2,045, which is in the top 29%. So just average. The average score is 2,069. That's pretty low. My rank didn't really change. I dropped 1,000, which isn't a massive drop, but it's not any sort of improvement. Hanbury was amazing at 134, and Butler was my worst player at 36. You'll see that when I switch the team that Butler probably isn't there anymore. Anyway, without further ado, let me show you the team and let me explain any trades that I have done this week. So here is what my team is looking like this week. Now, before we sort of get onto it all, as you can probably see, this is probably the first week where I actually feel like I might have dropped the ball a little bit. I'm going to tell you why in a little bit. My backline isn't the reason, of course. Look at that backline. That is a massive scoring backline. It's too bad Newman was sort of a late inclusion. He was a late inclusion, and so I didn't really get him a chance to get him in my team. But that 151 is absolutely huge, and I wish that he was on the field for that. But I think a lot of people had the same problem, that he was in the last game of the round and he was an emergency, so he didn't get a chance to get out there and we can quickly switch him in. But he's in there this week. Doherty was great, Laird was great, Adams was great, Rance was great, Newman was amazing, and Berry for a rookie was actually pretty good too. So that back six is really, really solid, and I do like the look of it. Stewart on the bench. In a perfect world, I probably would have traded him out by now, but unfortunately I haven't really had the chance. But overall, I actually think that backline is starting to come together pretty well. The midfield, Bontempelli, Murphy, Dangerfield, Fife, Hanbury, Treloar, Beams, all on the field. Treloar and Beams coming back in the team is huge for this team. Treloar hasn't been amazing, but he is still a premium. He still averages 95, which is better than a 49 by Zach Fisher or a 67 by Pal Pepper. Hanbury went big, and Dangerfield was alright. But other than Dangerfield and Hanbury, the midfield really didn't fire as big as I would have liked last round. The ruck. So the rucks was the big problem I had in this upcoming week. I had Witts and Ryder, who both played the game in China, thus Gold Coast and Port both have the bye this week. So what I've had to do is I'm going to have to cop a 0 this week, which is kind of annoying. So Ryder won't be a scorer. I'm really starting to suffer the consequences of not picking a good rookie ruckman that I could switch in and out when needed. So that is really coming back to bite me, unfortunately. So I've traded out Witts and put Martin in. So Martin is averaging over 100, which is good. Witts was ending up averaging about 93. He actually did a very good job, Witts. I got him in, he was around 260,000. And then I've ridden him all. I rode him all the way up to 420 or 430,000. And at that point, I've decided to get Martin into the game because he is looking really, really good. Now that means I've actually got 4 Brisbane Lions players in the team, which is hilarious because a team that sits at the bottom of the ladder, and I've got 4 players on the field from them. So firstly, that definitely does ring alarm bells, but what are you going to do? They've got a lot of young, good rookie players that score decent scores, so I'm probably going to be looking to keep or a couple of them in, especially through the bye rounds. If you go to the forward line, Yo was great, Dalhouse was average, Franklin was average, Nankervis was alright, Parsons was average, and you see Stewart there, and I've actually traded out Butler, and I brought Stewart in. Now my big issue this week was I had no one to trade Butler in for, and in a perfect world I would have traded Butler in for a mid-rookie, probably Myers from Essendon, another Essendon player would have brought him in for Myers, but I didn't get a chance at that because I probably needed to get a solid forward line, and those injuries to Parfitt and Miles are really killing me at the moment. And to be fair, injuries have played a bit of a role in my league this year. I feel like a Supercoach Gold Coast at the moment. Injuries to players that should be playing but aren't. So I've taken a massive gamble, and I don't think it's going to pay off in the long run. But in the short term, it does fill a hole. It gets an Essendon player into the fray. So if I was to show you my buys, for instance, so if I go play round 11, I've got a decent chunk of players that will play. Pepper will be back. Stewart, Adams, Laird, Rance, and these guys. Meaning all these guys, if you look at my team, I'm missing a lot of players for next in a couple of rounds' time. So I think Barrett might have to go, depending on it. I might have to bring in a player that's going to be playing in the following rounds. Having those four Brisbane players and those 3 Sydney players really do hurt. So I'm going to have to look to change some of those players just so I can get a decent scoring team for round 11. Because if I tank round 11, it's going to make it really hard for me to come up in the following rounds and try and get to a decent score. If I look at round 12, my round 12 team looks a lot healthier and a lot fitter. Of course, this won't be the final team I enter round 12 with, but that team looks a lot fitter. To be honest, I should have enough scorers in there. And if we look at round 13, and again, round 13 looks even healthier. It's just that round 11 that I'm really stuck with, and I need to make a few changes. So this team isn't the team I have to field for round 11. As far as captaincy goes this week, I'm keen to stick the vice on Bont, and then I might try and get in someone like a Fife as a captain choice. So I have 2 bites of the cherry with Bontempelli and Fife. Fremantle are against Carlton over in WA, so I think Fife might have a bit of a day out. But really, who knows? This season's completely up in the air. I might actually I could possibly go someone like Doherty on the wide open spaces of Subiaco. That I might captain him in. I might loop him in with Hibbert or something, if need be, to see if Doherty could actually score pretty big out in the West. But we'll back Bont in. I think Bont's usually a pretty safe option. Last week was 99, but his average is around 120. So if he gets that average, then I'd be pretty happy to take that as my captain. Well, guys, thank you for watching. Make sure, as always, below, do let me know in the comments below how you think my team's going. I've had a bit of honest feedback in the comments below the past few weeks from a few people saying my team looks pretty rubbish, and to be fair, I think I have to agree at the moment. It doesn't look flash, it doesn't look great, but it's just, I need to hope it improves soon, and I've got to start getting in players that I think are going to be there come the pointy end of the season, so we'll wait and see on those. To be honest, that forward line is something that I'm really worried about, and if you've got comments below of some people that you think I should bring into that forward line, do let me know. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hope your Supercoach team is doing better than mine, and I'll see you later.